All right, what's up everybody? Happy Easter to y'all. I got my peeps, and what we're not gonna do... Yeah, why not? Where did you land in? What's up everyone? So, I've been doing a series on combating anxiety naturally, so check out my other videos. But today, we're going to discuss the levels of your anxiety in an attempt to start mapping your anxiety triggers and hopefully beating anxiety for good. See what I did there? You ever notice that when you pick one of these up, you can't not play the game where you try to get the bubble in the middle? Is it getting to you yet? Is it getting to you? Is it getting to you? Is it getting to you? Oh! Mapping out your different anxiety levels it's not an all-inclusive fix for overcoming anxiousness, but it is a very, very important step to beating anxiety and panic attacks. Alright guys, before I get started, comment down below and answer to this question. Are you personally aware of your different anxiety levels and how do you cope with the different levels? I'm asking you to please take a second to comment your answer, because by sharing your anxiety recovery techniques, you just may help others in overcoming their fears and anxiety. Lastly, if you could take a second to like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. So these are custom Easter eggs that have messages in them from loved ones and friends. So I thought, in the spirit of a happy Easter, we'd open one on camera, see what it says. Everyone you know wishes you were dead. Now, even though I've made other videos on how to stop an anxiety attack or prevent them, I would actually say that mapping out the levels and stages of anxiety that you experience is a crucial step in the process of combating depression and anxiety. So this is step one, and I'm going to teach you by giving you the technique and taking you through my personal example so you can then take this and do it for yourself. These are techniques that I've learned over years and years of therapy and many anxiety attacks and reading a lot. I mean, I know 2/3 of the alphabet, so I kind of know what I'm talking about here. In seriousness, one of the first steps you need to take to control anxiety is to understand that checking in with yourself daily, monitoring your anxiety levels, and assessing where your anxiety is, how it's affected, and what actions you need to take. So, let's break this down. Now, you can draw a chart of your own or even just take a mental chart, but I'll put one on the screen of my different anxiety levels for you to follow along. We are going to deal with 3 categories on this chart. They're the symptoms, triggers, and lastly, remedy. I find it best to break it up into 3 or 4 levels. 1 being the lowest and 3 or 4 being the most intense, and here we will list the symptoms you experience in each level. Triggers will be life events or circumstances that could be responsible for making you feel these symptoms and will ultimately point to what you can fix or tweak in your life in order to resolve your anxiety. And lastly, obviously, the remedy column will illustrate steps you need to take in order to overcome that level of anxiety. You will use your triggers to dictate what your short-term and long-term adjustments are in order to fix your anxiety. So let's get started, and I'll share with you my personal chart. So starting at level 1, this is obviously the most mild level. My personal symptoms include a very quick spell of dizziness. In fact, for me, the dizziness is so fast that by the time my brain registers it, it's gone. I've had a lot of practice, but I've come to realize this is my level 1 symptom. So now knowing my level 1 symptoms, I have to ask myself, what triggered this? And to be honest, this can sometimes take a little trial and error, but I think if you use a little self-analysis, you will quickly figure out what is triggering these symptoms and anxiety. When I experience level 1 symptoms, dizziness, I assess the triggers. Am I doing too much in my day? Am I overloaded with personal projects, working out too much, exerting too much, or even overthinking with everything that I've got going on? So the remedy what can I take off of my plate or lighten my load? I think you can see the process here, right? And it makes sense. Aside from journaling, figuring out your levels of anxiety is a super first step for checking in on self and overcoming this crap. So let's do a bit more. Level 2, my symptoms are typically tingling on the back of my neck, and sometimes this may or may not also involve dizziness. Level 2 symptoms typically show up when my sleep schedule is poor, ill-disciplined, or my general amount of sleep is lacking, but also with triggers. Also consider anything in the level below as a potential issue. So it's possible that I have too much on my plate, which is a level 1 trigger, and I need more sleep, which is a level 2 trigger. And quick tip, getting enough sleep is a huge issue with anxiety. So make sure you get plenty of sleep and don't be afraid to nap when you need to. Naps are cool, man. So my level 2 remedy therefore is, can I take something off of my plate, level 1 remedy, and do I need to tweak my sleep schedule or even get some sleep now, or make sure tonight I get to bed early. Alright, so let's just do one more just to drive it home. My level 3 symptoms include losing the feeling in my face, and this is where I really start to feel that fear feeling that anxiety induces. This is where I start to feel like I'm dying. Level 3 triggers are typically a result of negative thought spirals for me. My headspace has been in a bad spot, I've been neglecting the balance in my life, not taking the joy in life, all very negative stuff. And remember, this can be a combination or addition to the triggers from both level 1 and level 2. Level 3 remedies is where the breathing exercises come in. Now I talk about triangle breathing in another one of my videos, so feel free to check that out, but that is my go-to exercise. Level 3 remedies sadly also include perhaps taking a Xanax, which I very rarely have to do. I honestly haven't had to in probably over a year at this point, maybe more. But at level 3, that comes into play. Lastly, I will most likely need to go lie down, get quiet, and just sleep it off. And again, because I know my triggers, I know what I need to adjust as well. So I need to do some mental work, get in a positive headspace, and work on whatever is getting me in that negative thought spiral. We can control our thoughts for the better and retrain our brain to be a much more positive and friendly machine. Sometimes I may even have anxiety hangover where my brain is just not on point for 24 hours. Totally normal if you experience this. So there we have it. That is how I map out my different levels of anxiety that I experience. And I've found it an incredibly effective way to check in with myself, make adjustments, and live a much more anxiety-free life. And as a side note, don't be afraid to break down the details further, maybe add a level. I probably could, just to refine it more and further dial in your anxiety remedies. You got this, and please, again, share your tricks and tips down below. I haven't had anxiety hangover or had to take a Xanax for a very long time, and I think this technique, as well as others I discuss in my other videos, can really help you, and I really hope it does. It blesses me so much to think that maybe some of this stuff will help you, because I know anxiety really can make you feel as though you're dying. I hope this video blessed you today, and if you have any questions or videos you want me to address in the future, hit me up below. God bless, thank you so much, and I'll catch you next time.